Welcome back to another episode of Pig and Whiskey Test Kitchen. Today we are making one of my favorite dishes, chicken paprikash. It is the comfort food that comfort food would eat when it craved comfort food. You won't be disappointed. Let's get started. First, we're going to fill our chimney and light our smoker. Using our flamethrower here to get our coals going. It's a little damp out as the rainstorm moved through, so we're just trying to make this go a little quicker. And remove the grate, dump our charcoal in, and then we're going to set our intakes to try to get to a temperature of 350 degrees. Back inside, we have a package of legs. We're going to dump those on our tray and get those seasoned up real nice. Today we're just using salt and pepper. Start with a hefty sprinkle of kosher salt, then we're going to use some freshly ground black pepper. I like to grind my pepper and place it in this container before I start every cook. Once you get those coated on both sides, we're going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil. Take your time and drizzle slowly. You don't want to drench them, and it's not absolutely necessary that they are 100% covered. But once you roll them around a little bit, it will be plenty. Flip them over and coat the other side as well. One last pinch of salt, and we're heading to the smoker. Now earlier I had left the lid open on my smoker like an idiot when the rainstorm came through, and it filled up the bottom of my smoker a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to let that steam off and leave the lid open for a bit. Then throw our wood on and replace the grate. Today we're using hickory. This is a very rich dish and will benefit nicely from heavy smoke. Arrange our chicken around the edge of the smoker, placing the thicker parts toward the center of the smoker, which is the hottest part of the cooking area. That way the thicker parts will cook evenly. Back inside, let's start on our aromatics. Here I have one medium-sized yellow onion. Go ahead and do a quick dice. Next we have one large red bell pepper. Pretty much any pepper would work in this situation. A green bell or poblano or even some Italian frying peppers would work. We're just going to do a quick dice on the bell. I like the sweetness of a red bell pepper, so that's why I use them. And next up, we have 2 cloves of garlic. Smash, peel, and chop. Now let's place all our ingredients in a handmade bowl that you made in pottery class. And then we're going to take it to the stovetop where we have the cast iron skillet heating with just enough olive oil to coat the bottom. Dump in our ingredients. This is basically a Spanish sofrito minus the tomatoes, which are optional in this dish. Saute until the aromatics are coated in oil, and then we're going to add a heavy pinch of kosher salt and pepper. Cook over medium-high heat until the onions become translucent and the peppers take on a little color. Then we're going to add approximately 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour. And just cook that gently to toast the raw flavor from the flour. Next up, we are adding 3 tablespoons of paprika. You'll want to use a sweet Hungarian paprika for this. Being very careful and working quickly, we're only going to cook this for about 30 seconds. If the paprika scorches, it will put off a bitter taste in the final dish. Now add 2 cups of homemade chicken stock to deglaze the pan. Okay, we're going to bring that to a simmer, and while that's gently simmering on the stove, we're going to head out to the smoker and check our chicken. Here I lowered a temperature probe in the top of the smoker, so we're going to put that in one of our legs. They have been cooking approximately 45 minutes now, and now that they are probed, I'm going to put the lid back on and wait for them to hit 195 degrees. I'm back inside and our sauce is simmering nicely, and we want to thicken the sauce. Once it coats the back of your spatula, set it aside. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. Our chicken is now 195 degrees. So let's take our tray and retrieve the chicken from the smoker. Then we're going to head back inside. Now we're going to place our chicken legs in the sauce, and then we're going to arrange them in a pattern so they fit evenly in the pan. Once you put your legs in the pan, go ahead and just give them a quick flip and coat all sides of the chicken with the sauce. Okay, once they are in the pan, give them a quick spin for showmanship. Then we're heading to the smoker. Simply place our pan right on the grates, then set your timer for 45 minutes. Normally, we'd make a bag of egg noodles for this dish, but I didn't have any, so we're going to make some from scratch. We're adding 3 eggs to a mixing bowl and approximately 2 heaping tablespoons of sour cream. Next, we'll add some flour, and I don't really have a measurement for the flour, but I typically just eyeball this. Add the flour and mix it up until it is the desired consistency. Okay, clean up your mess and let's try that again. Whisking constantly, add flour until we get to what looks like a thick pancake batter. Add another scoop of flour, going slowly damn it. Clean up our mess again, mix thoroughly, and keep adding flour until you get to the desired consistency. Here I am mixing and checking the consistency of the batter by raising the whisk. Once it has reached the desired consistency, we're going to let that sit for a minute, and then we'll add a healthy pinch of kosher salt. Okay, now let's scrape all of this into a zip-top bag. Go ahead and pour it in the bag, then scrape out the remaining batter from the bowl and put that in the bag as well. After your batter is bagged up, zip that up, and we're going to take our knife and cut off a small corner on the bag, being sure to throw that away so it doesn't accidentally end up in the food. Bring a large pot of water to a boil. Add some kosher salt, and then we're going to squeeze the batter out of the corner of the bag, chopping it off as we go. You'll want to work quickly because we want all of our dumplings to cook at the same time. Working quickly, squeeze the rest of the bag into the boil. I slightly overcooked my noodles as I was also trying to manage the kitchen while filming this, but I'm sure you see where this is going. Add a couple pats of butter, careful not to overmix, and that will help the dumplings keep from sticking to each other. It's been 45 minutes, so we are retrieving the skillet from the smoker and heading inside. I'm going to remove each individual piece of chicken from the pan and then we're going to take approximately a quarter cup of sour cream and add a few tablespoons of our sauce to the cream. At this point, the sauce is very hot and we are tempering the cream before it goes back into the pan. Go ahead and stir that up thoroughly. We're going to take our chicken and place it back in the pan. Just give them a quick little turn so that we coat the legs thoroughly. The chicken should be very tender at this point, so be gentle with them. Shake that around a little bit to make sure all the chicken is well coated. I'm going to sprinkle on some fresh chopped parsley, and then we will scoop some dumplings into a bowl. Place a couple pieces of our chicken over the top of the dumplings, then we'll spoon in a little extra sauce. Jesus, this looks good. I really wish y'all could smell this right now. Now we are adding an optional dollop of sour cream and then a light dash of paprika. This is the final dish. Every time I taste this, it evokes strong feelings of my childhood, even though I never actually tried this dish until I was an adult. The smokiness of the chicken pairs flawlessly with the paprika, and the sweetness of the peppers and onions counterbalance the salty starch of the noodles. It is smoky, comforting, and delicious. Thank you for joining us today in the Pig and Whiskey Test Kitchen. Hope to see you next time. Recipes for this episode are listed in the description box below. And don't forget, subscribe.